Hey, how we doing, everybody? Mr. Volpe here, ready to take you guys through an exciting spring term here with GNTC. A little bit about me. I used to teach on campus at the GNTC Whitfield Murray campus in Dalton from 2013 until 2016. I then moved to Florida, where I continue to reside. So I am a remote instructor with GNTC currently, and happy to have you guys along the ride with me this term. So just want to give you guys just a basic lay of the land here once you go into Blackboard. Really the things you want to keep in mind are our weekly announcements. So I have one set up with this video embedded in the announcement. Videos will come out every other week. So week 1, week 3, week 5, week 7, etc., bi-weekly, every other week. But you will get an announcement, a text announcement in Blackboard every week. That'll be on a weekly basis. Videos will be bi-weekly, every other week. And basically, how to do our assignments in this course. When you're looking at your Blackboard, on the left-hand side, you'll see the menu. You see things like homepage, announcements, etc., etc. The fourth one from the top is lessons, okay? All of our work is going to be in the lessons area, okay? And of course, when you click there now, you'll see our syllabus. I recommend you guys look at the syllabus, the netiquette, ground rules. Take a look at our paper format attachment for our essays in this class. Basically, in this class, we work up to our essays. We do reading comprehension, other written exercises in each mode of discourse: narration, descriptive, argumentative, persuasive, and MLA research. We do exercises, and then we do the paper for that particular unit or mode of discourse. So the paper format attachment is going to give you kind of the MLA format for how a paper will look in our class, okay? Underneath the paper format, you'll see video archive. I don't archive the videos anymore. I just provide you the link to the YouTube page. Blogs and journals, you don't have to worry about that yet. Blogs are going to be voluntary, extra credit. They'll appear throughout the term. Journals will be mandatory, and I will let you guys know when we have a journal. It's basically where you kind of reflect on a topic having to do with one of our modes of discourse. Okay, what you want to recognize now is the Shell 1, weeks 1 through 2. Open currently is week 1, okay? This is what we need to worry about for our first week of class. We have 3 things. Due on, or by Friday, I should say, is our no-show assignment discussion forum. So this is an opportunity for us to read the sample that I've given you guys. It's a resignation letter that a writer for the New York Times, well, she was a writer for the New York Times, but she issued a resignation letter because she felt that the political climate at the New York Times had become a little too toxic and adversarial. The writer's name is Barry Weiss. She left the New York Times to kind of pursue her own journalistic endeavors without feeling as though her words were being manipulated, or that she had to subscribe to a particular political agenda or anything like that. So she kind of went on her own, away from the New York Times. So in that letter, you get to see a former writer for the Record of Note, or the paper of record, I should say, the New York Times, really kind of outline her issues with the paper, with the publication, why she felt as though she needed to leave. So I ask you guys to read that letter, and it's attached. There's a link there. And then to items 1, 2, and 3, what is her thesis statement? What is her main idea, her central claim? Is she explicitly stating it word for word, or is she kind of implying, or do you have to kind of infer what she is saying, her main takeaway, her thesis statement? Okay, that's number 1. What's her thesis statement? Is it explicitly or implicitly stated? Number 2, provide 3 supporting details that the writer uses in defense of her thesis. Okay. And you could just make reference to the text. You don't necessarily have to do direct quotes, although it's encouraged that you guys get used to doing direct quotation and parenthetical citation. We'll get into that later in the term. But if you guys know how to do that, I welcome you to do it. If you don't know how to parenthetically cite a source, you could look on our menu and go down to the handbook, and that's going to give you all the MLA byways and parameters and blah, 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 blah. And then number 3, do you disagree or agree with her argument laid out in her resignation letter, and why do you or don't you? Please pay attention to items A and B in bold there. You want to answer the prompt, or prompts in this case, the 3 items there. Give your response. Okay, it's got to be minimum of 150 words, or approximately, thereabouts. And then, in order to receive full credit, of course, you give your original response, but then you too respond to at least one other person's response in the forum. So 2 responses overall. Your original one, and then your reply to another poster's response. Okay, so that's due by Friday, the no-show assignment. That lets me know that everyone enrolled in the class is active and is here and doing what they're supposed to do within the first week. And then for the other things pertaining to our narration mode of discourse, our first mode of discourse, our first essay we're going to write is a narrative, okay, a story, all right, and it's going to be nonfiction. It's going to be like a creative nonfiction, whereby you eventually, in a couple weeks, are going to detail a particularly meaningful experience, something that transformed you, some big climactic moment in your life. So be thinking of whatever that moment is for when we write the paper. But all I need to do for this week, again, we covered the discussion forum, but for our narrative work, you need to read George Orwell's Shooting an Elephant and Bonnie Smith Yackel's My Mother Never Worked. Where do you find these things? Look over to the left, the menu. You will see the 1101 reader. It's right underneath the handbook. Click it, and then you could either search under narration, or you could just put in the search bar George Orwell, Bonnie Smith Yackel, and their work will pop up. I have discussion questions that are in a Word document attached, okay, to the assignment description, okay. So this work is done or due by the 16th, that's Sunday, okay. So again, discussion forum responses due by Friday, the 14th. The response to the George Orwell and Bonnie Smith Yackel piece due by Sunday. One other thing due Sunday, the 16th. For this, you're going to go, again, left-hand side is the menu, the textbook, okay? Whenever you see SCC, that's the short version of our textbook title, which is called Successful College Composition. That is where we do all of our writing exercises to kind of prepare for our essay. So exercises 2 and 3, I would like you to turn in, okay, in the Dropbox provided, okay. You want to make sure you do it as an attachment. Don't attach it in the comments section. Just, save your Word document and attach the file and submit it. You don't have to do exercise number 1, but do exercises 2 and 3. This is chapter 3.1. It is the narration unit, our first mode of discourse. I'm going to open up the textbook here on my end. So when you open up the textbook, you'll go to chapter 3, okay? You're welcome to look at chapters 1 and 2. That's some good, review, or, if you've never written a college essay before, a lot of helpful tips are there. But to get with our work, go to Unit 3 or Chapter 3. Go to Start Lesson once you're there. And then you're going to look on the right-hand side. You'll see Narration 3.1. Okay, that's what's popped up for you when you click Begin. and then exercises 2 and 3. You do exercise 1 on your own, but I want to see your work for exercise 2 and 3. Okay? So this is kind of helping you prepare for writing your narrative. For exercise 2, you are using transition words to kind of start building a story, a sequence of events, a plot. Okay? And they give you the table of transition words there. Okay, so you do your pre-writing in exercise 1, like on a scratch sheet of paper, and then exercise 2 and 3 you give to me. Okay, basically you're developing a plot of your narrative, and your narrative eventually is going to be a significant life-changing moment. So the work that you were doing here for the SCC exercises, that can be used in a couple weeks for your narrative essay. You could kind of think of this stuff as kind of the building blocks. The SCC work is the building blocks for your actual essay. Okay, so you can change topics next week when it comes time to write our essay, or you could maintain the same topic that you start your free writing with: childhood, school, adventure, work, love, family, friends, vacation, nature, space, any of those 10. You could pick one of those topics and narrow down your topic for your paper in a couple weeks, or you could change it when we write the essay beginning next week. Okay, so exercises 2 and 3 in SEC 3.1. Let's just do a general review here. Okay, then you have your reader selections. All right, that is the George Orwell piece and the Bonnie Smith Yackle piece. I've given you 2 discussion questions after you've read the pieces. Okay, those are attached as a Word document. Okay, the SEC work and the reader work, okay, are due on the 16th. That is Sunday the 16th. Due on the 14th. That is Friday. That is going to be your responses to the Barry Weiss resignation letter. That is our no-show discussion forum. Okay, so 3 assignments this week. Go ahead and start getting acclimated in the course. Of course, read the syllabus, kind of fool around. You could kind of look at our textbook, our reader, our handbook, kind of play around in there, see what it has to offer. In SCC chapters 1 and 2, Introduction to Writing, the writing process, you guys can kind of, at your leisure, look through those chapters to kind of get your footing on college essay writing. You could look at our essay format attachment that we have in lessons that shows you how an essay is written in our class. Times New Roman 12-point font, double space with a heading and a title. Again, we'll get to that next week when we do our narrative essay. So yeah, guys, and go ahead and make sure you contact me if you have any troubles. It's in the syllabus. It's mvolpe@gntc.edu. I'm pretty good about turning around my emails. I'm of the mind where I like to get things turned around like as soon as I can, because I want, once your problem is solved, my problem is solved. Selfishly speaking, you know what I mean. Okay, you are my responsibility. So if you have a problem, hey, I'm here to help you. So I will do it as fast as I can, as thoroughly and as fast as I can. Usually when you email me, I get a notification on my phone because my phone is synced up to my Outlook. And it's not unusual to receive a pretty quick reply, but not always. Okay, it's customary to let a full 24-hour cycle go by before you can really expect a reply. Okay, so if I don't reply to you instantly, or even within a matter of hours, just hang tight. I will get to you. Okay. I know that it can be kind of daunting navigating in an online course, especially if you haven't done it before, so I understand all of that. So welcome to our class. Again, Mr. Volpe here. Happy to shepherd you guys throughout our term. Narrative, narration, story writing is our first thing we are worried about. You want to think of a topic having to do with a significant, transformative, life-changing moment in your life. You very well might start writing about that this week in the SCC exercises, but start thinking about it for next week when I'll have you guys start drafting for your paper. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Videos tend to be around 10 to 15 minutes. This being the first week, it's going to push the 15-minute mark. But with that, guys, from sunny Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Florida, Mr. Volpe here, wishing you adieu Peace, welcome. Talk to you again next week.